Hey, everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to PHLY Flyers Postgame, presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. My name's Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the evening. Joining me again, that's right, it's Broad Street Hockey's own Kelly Hinkle. Perfect rebuild game, Kelly. I mean, 2 goals from Michkov, almost a hat trick a couple of times, almost a Michigan hat trick, but ultimately Flyers lose in regulation.
Ah,
perfect.
Yeah. Thank you all for your service. We got to see Ovi get one.
Yeah, number 879. He scored it against a goalie, which has been a rarity for him this year, but he did it.
His 180th goalie or something ridiculous like that?
Yeah, it's the Fedotov became
number.
The 14th Flyers goalie. And he's definitely scored against the most goalies ever. I think it was 180, but
I think Boosh said 180.
He's freaking insane. But we were talking about this during the game. This Flyers team, the last few games, really the last couple weeks, they haven't been all that entertaining.
No.
But I'll take this. I will absolutely take a 7-goal game, a little back and forth action. They held Washington to 18 shots. And I want to talk about like the crazy disparity of the way this team plays from night to night. But my first takeaway here is Charlie is stuck at the airport in Chicago. He's been trying to get home from Salt Lake City since yesterday. This is like 24 Hours in America, the West Wing episode where they just can't freaking get home. He's not covering the game. Michkov goes off.
Oh.
Coincidence?
I think not.
We mentioned this. We have to talk. Like the point of tonight's show, like this is the Michkov episode, and we've been waiting to do this for a long time. He hasn't played like this in a little bit. Maybe he's got some extra legs because it's Ovechkin. That looked pretty apparent. Maybe he's just getting a little bit of a second wind. It is funny, like, oh yeah, he's getting hot, and now we're gonna take a 2-week break that we've been begging. That we're like, he needs this break, but obviously a little extra. Like he's a legendary countryman on the other side tonight, chasing, one of the most previously thought to be unbreakable records in sports. And, of course, he's going to have a little extra. But first period tonight, it was obvious Mish had it from the jump. Has a really good chance on like his first shift, gets behind the defense and gets stopped by Lindgren. Ultimately, in the first period, 1 goal, 3 shots, 5 attempts. He was freaking everywhere,
sure
and
was.
It was obvious that he had it from the jump, and even even the underlying numbers were pretty freaking awesome. Suitable Alias tweeted the Flyer in the first period, the Flyers and Matvei Michkov minutes, goals 1-0, expected goals 0.48 to 0 for the Flyers. The Flyers in all other minutes, goals 1-0 Capitals. Expected goals, they're up by like half. It's 0.44 to 0.28. Like when Michkov was out there, the Flyers were winning handily, and when he wasn't, the Flyers were getting handled by the Caps.
That's absolutely wild, Bill. Who would predict that putting your best player on the ice often is good for your hockey team?
Yeah, and
I'm glad John Tortorella learned that lesson.
I am
from
too.
Himself.
So Michkov finishes the game. Let me bring up his ice time here because he was getting a ton of shifts. Only Tyson Foerster played more amongst the forwards. Michkov plays 19:32 in this one. That's got to be his most in at least like a month. Just
easy.
Thinking about what his game logs have looked like, even a couple of games where he's kind of had it and Torts has given him a little more leash. It's been like 17 minutes.
Right.
So almost 20 from Mish tonight. He was all over the place. Could have had the hat trick. And that's my number. Well, like making fun of Charlie, obviously the number one priority here.
Well, he's not here. So.
Yeah, I mean, my top takeaway after watching this 60-minute Flyers game, the Capitals are, let's see, well ahead in the Metro Division. Their 79 points are 11 up on Carolina.
How are they so good? I don't understand.
They are first place in the league by points percentage. They're tied with the Jets with 79 total points. Michkov, while he hasn't had it on a nightly basis, like we can grumble about the ice time and the way Torts is developing and all that. But like, if he was just playing better, he'd play more. And he hasn't been playing all that well lately. But on a night where he has it, and the Flyers, this isn't even the full complement of guys. You know,
I know.
Say what you will about Frost, Farabee, Tippett, Risto, but like, these are at least legitimate NHL players.
Right.
They've got Rodrigo Bulls out there, and he actually played a great game tonight.
Sure
but
did.
they have Tony Dick out there. It's not exactly the full complement. But despite all that, they played a very good game and had a chance to win against the President's Trophy favorite simply because Matvei Michkov had a Matvei Michkov game. That's incredible.
It is incredible. And I know what you're saying with he has to play better to play. I get it. But also I feel like there's like a chicken and egg situation here. Like, he doesn't get enough time. He doesn't get the right line mates. He doesn't score. He doesn't play because he's not scoring. He doesn't get good line mates because he's not playing. It's like a whole vicious Tortorella time is a flat circle situation that's going on. And I'm just glad that, like, at least this was a little reminder heading into the break.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we've got here. Let's not screw it up.
Yeah, the 1932 is the most he has played. I am trying to find one with more. There's a 1912 back on the December 18th.
Oh.
1907, December 8th. But we're like, this 1920. Here we still not. 1947 and a 1931. Yeah, the 1947 was November 18th is the last time he played more minutes than he played tonight.
That's just silly.
That's pretty wild.
That's
and the 6 shots on goal, that might even be a career high for him.
This, I think, was his best game.
That's I wanted to ask, do you think this was the best game the Mad Russian has played in a Flyers uniform?
I think it was his best game. Yeah. It's hard to think of one that was better than this. He was just all over the place tonight. And not only that, he was just like he seemed to be a part of every single real scoring chance that they had tonight. Even when he wasn't scoring, when he was on the ice, it was very clear that the threat was there, that the Flyers could get a goal.
Mish played, he had a 8-shot game against Toronto on January 7th, but that's it. He's never had more than 5 other than that before tonight. So he has 6. This was maybe the most beginning to end impactful.
Yeah.
Like, he's had games where he scored, but it's like, what else did he do?
Right.
He's had games where he's done a ton, but it didn't show up in the box score. Goalie makes saves. Guys don't finish on his passes, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just kind of recency bias, but, you know, everyone else just watched this game too.
Right. Like, we're talking about this game.
This is, I think, maybe his best game.
I think so too.
It was, I mean, he tries the Michigan for the hat trick.
Oh, he got so close.
And he's
so close.
Winning battles along the board, like, very engaged in this game. And I know he needs this break, but I'm also like, damn, we only get to watch him once more before 2 weeks off. Like, I've been waiting for this guy to come back for a couple of months now, it feels like. And we finally get him. Yeah. And I really, it's an exciting thing. It's a really exciting thing when the dude that we need to be a star plays like a star, and we just get a little glimpse of what he's going to look like when he is what he's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I think it's good because, like, obviously they've been telling us and we've been telling ourselves, oh, he's just tired. Like, it's fine, he's just tired. But, like, you don't know for sure. Like, obviously I'm not saying, like, oh, no, actually he sucks. And when he was good before, that wasn't real. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But I mean, like, you know, is something a little off with him? Does he really hate John Tortorella? Is he absolutely miserable? Like, what is actually going on here? And he reminded us tonight, he's fine.
I have been saying over and over that I buy the explanation. He's never played this many games. The schedule's condensed. I heard, again, like Brian Smith filling in on Flyers Daily today. They've been on the road like 30 of the last 38 days. Like, it's just nuts, the schedule. And I've just been telling myself he's dead tired. He's never played like this before. Also, he's a 20-year-old immigrant, like, doesn't know the language, adjusting to an entire new life on top of the NHL, which is, you know, the best league in the world. You don't get higher than this league. You know, this is as hard as it possibly gets. This is it. And I I can't say, though, that there hasn't been behind all that a little creeping dread.
Oh, yeah.
Like, of course, we're Flyers fans. Yeah. Why wouldn't, like, oh, no, things are going to go well for us.
No,
like,
never.
Who would be brazen enough to just think, oh, no, I am 100%. I'm pretty confident.
No, this good thing is definitely going to stay good forever.
Pretty confident that this is all going to work out for the Flyers in terms of what Matvei Michkov, in terms of him reaching his potential. But my God, I mean, Eric Lindros is in the Hall of Fame and didn't reach his potential. You know, like bad stuff happens to our hockey players. It just does. For whatever reason, we have had horrible, horrible luck, and this was just another. Take a step back.
Exactly.
Everyone take a step back, and I think we can breathe a little sigh of relief because he has games like this in him. Now we get into some of the stuff that's annoyed us recently, Kelly. In your mind, now that first goal, the Flyers make a defensive play. They get to a loose puck, and Michkov is like not even just he didn't fly the zone. He had flew the zone, and like if they take him an extra second to get that pass, he's offside. He's so far gone, you know. In your mind, what is the difference between that play? And this is something I want to do with Charlie tomorrow. I think we have Charlie back tomorrow. Who the hell knows? He's stuck.
We might never see him again.
Yeah, we have no idea, fam. No. He's answering his texts. He's alive. But anyway, what is the difference between this play in which he scored a goal and then was rewarded with the most ice time he's had since November, and the play that got him benched for 30 minutes?
Oh, nothing except for the goal. See, and that's the problem, though, because they're not always going to end up in the back of the net. And it's foolish to think that they will. Like, the best player in the world wouldn't put every single one of those risks into the back of the net. But you have to let him do it because hopefully more times than not, we'll get what we got tonight and not what we got the other night. And I am very glad to see that he, in his mind, is not afraid yet to still do those things. He wasn't worried about getting benched, which is maybe he saw, he probably heard towards his comments.
Yeah.
I had a little thought, like, because we've seen Matvei do some stuff where you're like, oh, you're a little something, aren't you? Like, you got a little something in there, don't you? Like when he hit Protas on the butt.
On his second goal, he taps the Caps defense. Was it Protas? Yeah. Taps him with his stick. Just like, hey, what's up, man?
He's got a little something in there.
Oh, he's a dick, and it's great.
Part of me thinks that he, heard John Tortorella say, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And he was like, you're right.
You're right.
You shouldn't have, and I'm going to show you exactly why. And then he went out there and did it.
I always go back to Tortorella's comments last year when they asked him, why have we changed to this more rush-based, risk-taking offense? And he said, because we have the Mad Russian coming over.
Yeah.
And when he gets here, we want to be able to take advantage of what he's great at. And as we see tonight, 2 goals in transition with him cheating a little, especially on the first one.
Yep.
But I do think there's a little bit of a difference. Like, he's the weak side guy, and he's not on the puck in this one. That's the one he got benched for a few nights ago, which, listen, I understand towards wanting to rein him in. I just think 30 minutes is insane.
It's insane.
And the coach came out and said that. Like, oh, yeah, I probably should have played him in the third period. But
yes,
there's a little difference when he's not the guy, the forward on the puck, and when he isn't. It's a little different.
It's a little different.
But I don't know. Work that out in film. I understand that everyone needs to be treated the same, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying don't coach him hard, but work it out in film. Then that's, TK tonight.
I was going to say, I would say if 2/3 of the roster had made that failed clear that led directly to a goal against, they would have been stapled to the bench for the rest of the game. And I understand that being Travis Konecny gets you a little bit of leeway, but we can't pretend that being mean, we have to be mean to Matvei Michkov because that's how we treat everybody. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Ryan Poehling doesn't get that treatment. Konecny doesn't get that treatment. It's not evenly distributed. He's doing it to Michkov because he wants to knock him down some pegs.
And
in my opinion,
we actually got a little mix-up of the lines, as you said. It was like a few shifts.
Yeah, it was
you
5 seconds.
You overestimated how long it was going to take.
I was like, what's Apple
So we actually got it a little mixed up, the lines from what we saw pregame. And it ends up being Coots with Abel's on the wing and Michkov. And that immediately pays dividends, too. They get a goal in the second on Flyers make it, again, in transition. Flyers make a defensive play, and awesome finish, and I really do believe, like, if not this exact play, Michkov read the entire thing in some way, like a chessboard.
Oh, sure.
Like, I really think he sees that stuff, and
like they're going in slow-mo in his brain or something.
I want to give Coots some love on the play too, because he gets the loose puck and gets it up to Michkov, and then chugs down the ice, drives to the net, the far post, and that brings a defender with him, so that when Michkov he looks, can I get it over to Coots? No, he's covered, but with that defenseman there, he's able to get it back, and then eventually it gets over to Abels, and Abels finds Michkov, gets it back to him for a little tap-in. Couturier did a lot right on that play, getting the puck to Mish and then driving the net, and Abels with the apple. How you like that apple?
I liked that apple.
That's one of the best passes of the season.
It was so good because he was winding up like he was going to take the shot. It really looked like he was going to take the shot, and it was a perfect pass.
I realize, like, these things happen in, like, every NHL game, but we just are so starved for high-end skill plays. I'm not saying Abels is the answer to our prayers or anything, but I'm just happy, like, you get him out, you get those two out there together, and although Abels is Latvian, he speaks Russian, and I gotta believe there's something to that. Like, that there's just a little bit extra of a connection there because they can actually freaking talk.
No, I think so, too.
Like, and it's what honestly excites me about Kuzmenko, and they're here. They're at least in Philly. I want to talk about that in a little bit.
We saw them.
I'm just so happy about this, but I wanted to point out some other guys on the Michkov goals because they made really good plays, especially on that second one. I gotta say, though, it was great to see Michkov do what he did and just finishing it and giving him the tap, like,
to enjoy a Flyers game.
And they lost.
It's been a while, yeah.
They lost 4-3 in regulation, and I'm like, what a great game.
And in like a very disappointing fashion, like that tying goal was real obnoxious, and like they got so close to tying it, but
Michkov is such like competitive, or you just use the word obnoxious. That might describe him as well. Like he goes for the hat trick on a Michigan attempt. He has a chance to tie it at the end. He also gets the puck over to Foerster at the end. Like, as time expires, they had a lot of chances, and Michkov was in on, like, most of them. This was just an incredible game for him, and that made the entire game enjoyable. I honestly don't care that they lost. This was a fine game for the Philadelphia Flyers.
This is what every game should be from here till the end of the season. Just give me Michkov.
Yeah.
Let me have some fun. I don't care if you lose. You're probably going to anyway, but at least we'll enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, but of course,
just want to have fun.
One more game. He has his best first 2-point game since December. Now we have one more, and he goes to break. Hopefully, he steps up against Malkin, and I don't know if Crosby's going to play. They said he's hurt on the broadcast tonight. All right, before we go any further, I got to tell you about a couple of our partners, starting with our friends at Golden Nugget Jewelers. For the past 30 years, Golden Nugget Jewelers has operated out of the very same location in the heart of Philadelphia. Customers from across PA, Jersey, even Baltimore, New York have come to Golden Nugget Jewelers to find the perfect engagement ring or wedding band. And their staff is highly trained and dedicated to providing a personalized shopping experience. And what better time than right now to head out to Golden Nugget Jewelers, because it's almost Valentine's Day. Don't let the bird's pursuit of a ring make you, kind of lose sight of your pursuit of a ring as well. I know we're wrapped up, but don't forget, Valentine's Day right around the corner, and there's a vast selection of engagement rings and wedding bands, along with high-end watches, fashion jewelry, and sparkling diamond necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and more at Golden Nugget. You can receive a final cleaning and written appraisal with every engagement ring purchase. Golden Nugget Jeweler has been a family-owned and operated business since 1987, right there on 8th and Chestnut in downtown Philly. You deserve an expert and the best price. Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Visit goldennuggetjewelry.com today to learn more. While we're here, let's talk about Dr. Glatt. That's right. Because Glatt Hair Restoration is now under the direction of Dr. Morgenstern. But you still get the same peerless approach to care, same expert team, same unmatched GLAD system, same state-of-the-art location, and the same stellar results now under the direction of highly respected plastic surgeon Dr. Morgenstern. Each member of this team is exceptionally trained. They bring 30-plus years of industry experience. Hair restoration is all they do. Anyone can just buy the equipment, say they do hair restoration. This is GLAD Restoration's thing, from laser light therapy, non-invasive treatments, vitamin supplementation, topical and oral medications, PRP and stem cell, and of course, hair restoration surgery. Whatever you need, because every patient's different, everyone's hair is a little different, but bald is now optional. If you want to improve how you look and how you feel about yourself, Glatt Hair has the right treatment for you. Regain your confidence. Visit glatthairmctr.com. Call 610-980-4000 to get started today. All right. So that's the Michkov. My God, can you just imagine, though, if he gets that Michigan hat trick? Like, first career hat trick, first time he pulls off the Michigan. It would have just been absolutely insane. But I guess we can't ask for too much here.
The roof would have come off the
That's
Bard.
In a town that is, I was saying this to Hinkle earlier, and it was a good line, so I want to say it again. Like, in a town basically ready to get out second mortgages for Super Bowl champs gear, Mish would have had the top-selling jersey in the NHL by morning. I really believe that. But it wasn't just Mish who had a strong game tonight. Not just Mish, young player who had a strong game. Emil Andrae. Mm-hmm. I understood when they sent him back. They believed his play was slipping a little, and honestly, I just thought he was going to get killed up here. He just doesn't quite have the awareness to protect himself, whatever it is. But at this point, he can't go back.
No,
he simply can't go back.
He shouldn't have gone back before.
He gets a power play assist tonight, and like, first of all, anyone who contributes on the power play, you're Flyer for life. Quite honestly, at this point,
there are so few of them.
But one timer served up from TK, tipped by Foerster, a Flyers defenseman. Wound up, took a one-timer, it got through, got tipped for a goal. That might be the first time all season. I really, truly believe that that's the first one of these all year. It's a little thing, but it drives me nuts that Flyers defensemen never get shots through.
Yeah.
And when they do, there's nobody in front. Like, they just executed the way this team has to score on the power play. That's it. That's their only chance. They're not going to have a ton of great tic-tac-toe plays, like, unless Mish just puts them together himself. This is it. And finally, Emil Andrae answers.
The team plays better with him on it. Like, there's just no getting around it. Top to bottom, start to finish, when Andrae is on the team is better. It was absurd to send him down before. And if they send him down again,
they can't do it again.
They can't, but they might.
I really believe Ristolainen's going to get traded, and so they're just going to have that spot. But you can't, at this point, after selling Farabee, after selling Frost, you don't even have the guys you traded for him for a week. Like, you're playing all these other this has to be a signal of, we're going to play these kids now. Like, it's enough. Enough. Emil Andrae spent all last year in the AHL. He's been up and down this year. It's time for him to be up here. He's good enough.
He is good enough.
He played 20-32 tonight, picks up the assist, 2 shots on goal, couple of hits. He does have that tripping penalty that led to a Caps goal, but whatever. I just want to see him up here. He's not going to be perfect. He's going to make mistakes. There are going to be nights that are rough for him.
And that's fine.
That's development.
That's the thing.
He's never going to be a finished product until he learns in the NHL.
We have said it 1,000 times. You learn to be an NHL player by playing in the NHL. He's not going to get there playing with the Phantoms. He's too good to be down there. And if this is the year when we're still finding out about dudes, which clearly is what it is because we're not doing anything else, he's one of the guys you absolutely want to find out about. He needs to be consistently playing with this team. If they send him back down again, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah. I don't think this is something Jeff Marek has been saying a lot. Like, no one was ever hurt by too much AHL time. Like, I don't think it kills him to be down there. And there are reasons that, listen, I want to see him play because it's a reason to watch the games. It's something to actually go, all right, here's an important thing that we can talk about, and it's a developing player. Sure. He's fun. But I think there were some reasons for him to be in the AHL. At this point now in the season, no. Absolutely not.
No.
The Flyers have like 3 of the last, I think, 18 points. Like they're done. The only reason they're not like mathematically eliminated is because the whole East is mediocre.
Yeah.
That's it. But they are what? Let's see. They have tonight was a regulation loss. They have 1 win in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. They're 1-6-1 in the last 8.
That's not good.
It's time to just give these dudes a shot. The pipe dream of the playoffs is now pointless. Sell off assets, make hockey trades, whatever you got to do, but keep these dudes around. I want to see them play. And Emil Andrae, that was a lot of fun. Him doing something on the power play, like that's an element. And also it makes the team better. Like that, there's an element of that too. While, the playoffs are dead, like taking steps on the power play is important. Putting pieces together that may actually be together one day, like Emil Andrae and Matvei Michkov on the power play, that's important to start that now. I
do wonder, though, if they, like, Ristolainen is hopefully not going to be out very long. Have we learned if he's playing in the Four Nations? Like, I'm guessing he is, right? Like, I'm assuming.
My bet is he plays Saturday, and then he's like, I'm good.
Okay.
And then he plays in the Four Nations.
So he's going to come back. Eventually, Zamula's ailment, whatever it is, I'm assuming, will be healed. So, like, I want to know what they're going to do. Like, what are you going to do?
I'm also wondering about trading Erik Johnson. Like, just, hey, you want to finish out the season?
Yeah, but he would just be
on a winner.
No, I just mean, like,
anyway. That would be clearing out another spot, though. Like, you don't want to carry 8. Like, even if they don't trade Risto, at least you have him up. Like, but he needs to play. He needs to be on the team.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to.
Yes.
But thinking about this power play now, and this is, believe me, this is hypothetical. Like, I don't think this is actually going to happen, but crazy stuff happens all the time. And I want to do this again, and something I want to do with Charlie tomorrow just to get his thoughts, but who knows if he's going to be here. Andrae makes that play to get Foerster the power play goal. Michkov, let's say he comes back from the break, re-energized, and he's the Michkov from the first 27 games of the season. He's playing at a point-a-game pace. And those 2 things right there, forget everything else. Those 2 things right there make the power play better. Say they're at around 20% clip for the final 25 games after the break.
Okay.
Is that enough for you to give Rocky Thompson another year?
For me? No.
Because I saw Kevin Kerr's tweet about it tonight. I think it was right before it was right at the start of the game. He says, have to think the heat is on Rocky Thompson. I can't imagine the team can keep him if the power play again finishes at or near the bottom of the league. It's 28th coming in tonight. And that was right after they went 0 for 1 and like never had the puck.
I mean,
never really threatened.
Didn't we say that last year too?
No, we did. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just, okay, if those things that you laid out there do happen, they don't have anything to do with Rocky Thompson.
Fair.
They're like succeeding in spite of him, because I'm assuming he's not going to change anything process-wise. It's just going to be 2 players that are good scoring goals in a situation where it's easier to score goals than not.
I did see Michkov on the right-hand boards more tonight.
Yeah.
He was over on the left some, but I saw him on the right on the power, and like that's where he belongs.
Right.
I'm all for player movement and everything. I'm all for him going behind the net, but if he's going to be the point guard of the thing, he needs the puck on that right side.
Yes.
And he needs, a righty on the left side so they have that cross-ice one-time option.
And even if they are good for the final 25 games, like the final number for the year is still going to be real. It's going to be like a Morgan Frost.
Yes.
Like, we scored a bunch of goals here at the end of the season, but we were trash for the first 70. So our numbers aren't good. Like it's going to be that. So like, I just don't know how you can look at the way this power play has functioned for the totality of his time here.
So it's been bad. I just wonder, like,
will it be
does
enough?
It give credence to the idea that, well, they just don't have the personnel? And now, like, if Michkov comes back and he's strong for the last 25 and Emil Andrae's here and he gives us what we saw tonight, is that, like, actually he's improving? Because before they just didn't have enough good players.
I'm assuming that's what John Tortorella will tell himself, and then he won't fire anybody. But for me, no, not good enough. I would have fired him 3 days ago.
Just 3 days ago, not before that.
Nice.
I want to talk a little now about the guys in the trade. That's right, because they're here.
New guys.
Like every beat, I got this from Jackie Spiegel, but it was like the entire beat at the same time. Tweeted, they finally arrived. Pelletier and Kuzmenko are in the Flyers management suite in the press box of the Wells Fargo Center. Shortly after that, we saw it on the broadcast. We see Kuzmenko talking with Jonesy. See Pelletier talking with Briere, and they're here. And then maybe one of the funniest parts of the game happened. JJ's like, oh yeah, so they should probably be playing Saturday. We'll see. And then a little while later,
touches the earpiece.
Clearly, someone told him, like, well,
I'm being told
there are still I's that need to be dotted and T's that need to be crossed in terms of this paperwork. So we will see if either or maybe both of Kuzmenko and Pelletier play. But it's just nice that, like, the travel stupid part of this is over. Like, they're stranded in an airport in Toronto. They can't get another flight back to Philly. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
At least they're here.
Yeah, they can relax.
Do you expect to see them Saturday? Because now I kind of don't.
When JJ very emphatically came in to say, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Never mind. I'm not sure. Based on what we heard before, it was that Kuzmenko's paperwork was done and Pelletier's was not, which is hilarious to me. So maybe we see one and not the other. I don't know. Who are you taking out, though?
It's probably Anthony Richard is the first guy.
Tony's got to go.
I really hope it's not Rodrigo.
Rodrigo's good.
He's kind of...
I like him.
I feel like he's earned... I realize he's like 29.
Whatever.
But I kind of want to see him a little more.
He's having a good time.
It hasn't been terrible. Maybe they trade Scott Lawton. Who's to say? I mean, I guess the easy answer is Delorier, right?
Right.
He actually, I thought he was.
Although Nick Delorier tonight was like a friggin' machine.
I want to see the event summary.
He had like how many, 5 solid scoring chances.
He had the puck so much tonight. Where are you, Delorier?
The A line was flying.
Yeah. 2 shots on goal, 5 attempts for Nick Delorier tonight. He had the puck a lot and a few decent chances.
Yeah, I thought for sure he was going to score.
I guess it's him. That would it would be him and Tony Dick are my guesses.
That makes sense.
And then we still get to see Rodrigo.
That's good.
So that's fun.
I feel like Rodrigo and Mike are pals, and I want them to continue to be pals.
That's the other part is, again, like they can talk. Mm-hmm. You have those two and Kuzmenko together. Now all of a sudden he's got a bunch of friends. Fedotov, Kolosov. Like,
chatting out
now
there.
There's a bunch of dudes he can actually have a conversation
Yelling at each other.
And I don't want Rodrigo sent down because I want Michkov to have someone to hang out with over the break. Like that's the other part, you know?
Yeah.
They can all like hang out and talk Russian to each other.
Mike going up to Allentown to hang out at that bar that we went to that had good food.
Nah, Brew Daddy's was fun.
It was a good place.
It was a good time. We got to talk about Ivan Fedotov. I don't think he was bad tonight. The numbers are bad. 4 goals on 18 shots for
How many times have we said that exact sentence?
778. I mean,
the numbers are bad.
The numbers
visually
are
not terrible.
Just 4 goals. Like the Flyers hold the Caps to 18 shots, they lose 4-3. Listen. Ovechkin gets one right, like all-time great goal scorer.
That is fine. You're gonna get Ovechkin scores. That happens.
I want to talk about TK in a little, but he has that real bad turnover that leads to the game-tying goal in the 3rd period. But like, I kind of look at that one as the what I said about Fedotov in the Florida game. Like, oh yeah, the plays that led to the goals were terrible.
Yeah.
But the actual shots that went in, like, I don't know, that's Lars Eller from distance.
Yeah, he should have.
I'd like a save there.
He didn't look like he was paying attention.
He was really caught off guard.
He was like, oh, a shot? Oh. Like, yeah, that looked like a very savable goal, I think. But even Bush said it a couple of times, like, I don't think he saw it. But, like, what was blocking you? Like, it was right there in front of you. Like, why didn't you see it? You should have been seeing it. But yeah, it's hard to blame him for the loss. But once again, as we've said 10,000 times, there were goals that you would have liked to see stopped that he didn't stop. Not necessarily like weak, nasty goals where you're like, oh, that was like, what the hell are you doing kind of goals. But just like, you could have had that one. That's the vibe with him.
Now, he's only made seven starts and 8 appearances since his win on Black Friday against the Rangers. But that is the last time he won. November 29th is the last time Ivan Fedotov was credited with a W in a game he appeared in. Now, like, again, 7 starts, 8 appearances. It's not crazy, but that's also a really long time.
That's a long time.
Like, you have to have some chance to win a game when you start your backup. I was a little surprised they started him after, like, Torts today was saying, Sam Ersson, that game that they lost to Utah, that's the best I've seen him play. It's one of the best games I've ever seen any goalie play.
It's
and like
weird, right?
He coached Henrik Lundqvist. Like, you know,
he might have been a little bit
sure. He's pumping up his guy because, like, listen, they lose maybe the second Gunther goal, but like Gunther's shots were pretty sick in that game. But like, the team didn't really support him in a great effort. Like, he's going to pump up Ersson. But I was a little surprised that Fedotov got the start. But I guess you want to get him one before the break.
Yeah, I guess maybe they feel like it's more fun to beat the Penguins, as it usually is.
It is.
And also, you know, Ersson has had a few starts in a row, so maybe it was time for a break. I don't know. That TK turnover.
It was ugly. And I think, like, listen, TK has been carrying this team all season. Yeah. I have a lot of trouble criticizing the dude when he's been the entire offense all year. He's the only guy. Like, if Michkov isn't hot, who else can score? And sometimes you don't play your best game. But I do think there's a little bit of, like, you know what? Michkov gets benched for that. It's kind of...
Oh, 100%.
I get it. And also, I just think, like, last game, TK played like 25 minutes. Should he opt out of 4 Nations?
I wish he would, but he's definitely not going to.
Well, that's...
The only thing that's good about it is, like, he's not going to have to be Travis Konecny.
Yeah, he's not going to be playing 20 minutes a night.
Fourth liner.
Yeah, he's not going to be playing 20 minutes a night.
So at least there's that.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get a lot of rest, per se. And it would be nice for him to get a rest.
He won't, and he can't, just in terms of, this is his only chance to make an impression on Hockey Canada, on potential teammates for the Olympics.
Yes.
Like, TK is not Nathan McKinnon. He is not Sidney Crosby. He is not set and forget. Oh, he's going to be on the Olympics next year. Yeah. Like, it was a little bit of, I'm happy for him, and he's having a hell of a year. Even with the goal scoring drought, he's finding ways to contribute most nights. But this is his only chance to show Hockey Canada he belongs on the Olympic roster in 2026. He's not going to opt out. Yeah. I think he should. But also, like, what are we, saving him for the big playoff run? Like, I don't know, man. You kind of earned this opportunity.
He definitely has.
But he's clearly not the player he was a month ago.
And I know you've asked Charlie 100 times, do you think he's nursing something? And Charlie always says no. But he's definitely nursing something.
It really seems like it.
He's just not right.
It's just not him. You know, he just hasn't been what we saw for most of the first 50 games of the season, 45 games of the season.
No, and I don't think that just drops off for no reason.
No, it's...
Although, to be fair, the team as a whole, from night to night, wild
could be anything. Could be
performance and effort for no particular reason.
All right, I'm going to get into that. But first, I got to tell you about our friends at Rothman Orthopedics. Do you have aching joints, cramping hands? Is your back out of whack? Well, Rothman's got you. At Rothman Orthopedics, they've been practicing specialized care, and it's been their passion for over 50 years. Their mission, it's high-quality, compassionate, and affordable care rooted in research leading to new treatments and better outcomes. Each Rothman doc is laser-focused on their specialty. Whether it's hip, knee, spine, you name it, they have a team for each body part right in your backyard so you can get back to your specialty because they're Rothman Orthopedics and they specialize in you. Rothman Orthopedics specialize in orthopedics and you. Visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY to learn more and make an appointment Today, while we're here, I got to tell you about one of, they're back. One of my favorite sponsors, Lucy Nicotine. That's right. 100% pure nicotine, always tobacco free. They have the Lucy breakers and nicotine pouches, which I have really been enjoying. I told you a few months ago, got a new car, really trying not to like smoke in there and not make the thing smell terrible. And, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world to not smoke all the time. Well, Lucy has been excellent for that, keeping the smell out of my car, keeping me inside in the winter months as well, honestly. It's freaking freezing out. Go with the Lucy. I enjoy a whole bunch of their flavors. The cinnamon is like, it's not like a big red cinnamon. It's like a cinnamon sugar kind of flavor. Really like that. The wintergreen is excellent. I like a lot of it. You got to check out Lucy. Let's level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/PHLY. Use promo code PHLY to get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind as well. Again, that's lucy.co and use code PHLY to get 20% off. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Yeah, this team's...
I'm going to get me some Lucy.
What are you making of, like... I mean, this is their first... They played okay in Utah, I thought. Like, they kind of had some weird breakdowns, like at the very end, where everyone was just kind of, what do we do? Yeah. Oh, did we lose? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, all that. But they are just so... If they were just bad all the time, I'd be like, what? They stink.
That. Yeah.
But then they come out tonight, and it's... Yeah, they could have easily won this game if they get, like, one save.
You look really good against the best team in your conference. For no, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why was tonight good Flyers and 3 days ago was bad Flyers? Like, what is the difference in the like? Just do this.
It's just crazy.
Every game. Like, and you didn't even win tonight. I don't expect you to win most of these games, but I don't understand why you can play like a competent, moderately skilled hockey team one night, and then the next night, like, you can't make a line change. Like, I just don't understand why the dichotomy. Like, what is? It's just very weird to me. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not sure other teams are like this. Like these wild swings.
Remember when they had the practice line changes because they kept getting caught?
Yes.
Like, maybe they need to go back. But I do think, like, the road schedule has been difficult. They have a big home stretch coming up after the break and like all that, the condensed schedule, a lot of young guys. Now they're just kind of out of dudes, as we've outlined. They haven't, they had the emotional, and you can think about this whatever you want, but there is like the emotion of we lost a couple of guys and that stinks. But often that is offset by, well, here's two new friends.
Yeah, you didn't get new friends yet.
Like, they just met these guys probably right now.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting out of the shower, and now it's, hey, meet your two new teammates. Like, they haven't seen these guys yet until tonight. Like, they're in the freaking management suite. Like, they just arrived in town. There's a lot of stuff, but like ultimately, the last few weeks, they have looked like garbage mostly.
Yeah. And tonight they didn't. And there's really just no, I don't know, there's no material difference, really. Unless you're going to tell me that, like, the key was putting Matvei Michkov with Rodrigo Abels.
Who would have thunk? Like,
we cracked the code, fam.
Abels, Couturier, Michkov.
Can never
just
go back
like we
down.
all drew it up, man.
Yeah.
Like, what a freaking ridiculous... And who knows, maybe like that, a little boost. Like, now Abel's getting a little bit more used to the NHL. He scored his first goal the other night. Now he makes a really nice play to set up the second Michkov goal. Maybe he's just getting a little bit more acquainted and figuring out the league. Now Emil Andrae's here. Like, while they don't have the reinforcements from the trade, maybe a couple of guys starting to figure the league out is helping them look good tonight. But overall, it's just nice when they play well.
It's nice to enjoy the game.
Yes.
We enjoyed the game tonight. That's all I want from you people. I just want entertainment.
I want to talk about Tyson Foerster next.
Speaking of entertainment.
You know what? Before we do Tyson Foerster, I got to tell you, you only have a few more hours To get in on the deal of the century, our DieHard deal ends at midnight tonight. You can save big. It's usually $80 a year. You can get an annual subscription for $36 right now to be a PHLY DieHard. Get access to all of our premium content from our all-star cast of writers, including Charlie O'Connor. But you want to see about what's all the Eagles content that Zach Berman and the guys are pumping out this week. It's absolutely nuts. Fran Duffy and all his draft rankings. Like, it's just freaking awesome how much great content is over at allphly.com. You can get it all, plus access to the Discord, discounts on merch and events, all of the benefits of being a diehard for just $36 for the year. Go right now, allphly.com.
Should we tell the people that if they're a diehard, they might be able to come hang out?
Yeah, that is also a thing.
We might be doing a thing.
Right now, plan is to pick some diehards to come in for our live show here in the studio on deadline day. That's right, March 7th. We're going to have, it was a 2-hour show last year. I got to believe that's what we're doing again this year.
You got to be a diehard.
But you got to be a diehard. We're going to pick like 10, maybe a dozen people to come in, have a little studio audience, have some food,
pizza,
have some beers, talk some hockey, and check out a live show.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like fun to me, but you can only do that if you're a diehard. So sign up. Maybe you will be among the chosen. All right, Tyson Foerster. 15th goal of the season tonight on the power play. He tips home Andrae's shot. He's now on pace for 22 goals. He scored 20 in his rookie season. I thought he had a really strong game tonight. Chance to tie it at the end. Another one of the guys who was, I thought, buzzing. He and Cates have been good for a lot of this season. The scoring has come and gone. But how are you feeling about Tyson Foerster's sophomore season?
Overall, I think pretty good. I kind of was hoping, for more of like a big step for him, like a really different game from him from last season, or like a big jump in production. Yeah. We haven't really seen that. He doesn't look worse.
No, he doesn't look worse. And like, if this is his base, if he is a 22 goal guy, like this is the part of the Farabee and Frost trade that stands out to me. Like when they talked about guys taking jumps recently and maybe Farabee and Frost didn't, it's not even that they didn't. It's that this team is made up of Travis Konecny, Matvei Michkov, and then a bunch of complementary pieces.
Right.
Farabee and Frost among those complementary pieces. The Flyers don't need more of that. They need less.
Yeah.
They need difference makers at the top of the lineup. That's what they don't have. So a $5 million complimentary player in Joel Farabee, even if he's better than the player he was this year, which I think he is.
Probably, yeah.
Like, he's still not a difference maker that way. Morgan Frost, we've seen enough to know he'll put up some points here and there, but I don't see him as a difference maker. He's a middle-of-the-lineup guy. Right now, Tyson Foerster's floor appears to be that.
Yeah.
Nice middle-of-the-lineup, 20-goal guy. They just kind of replaced expensive options with younger, cheaper ones, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, me too.
But I do want to see him, like, I hope he's one of the dudes in these final 25 games that really gives us going into next year. Okay, I know what Tyson Foerster is, and it's better than he was in his first, 100 games as a pro, 150 games as a pro.
Yeah, and I think, wasn't he getting, didn't he get, oh, no, that was Cates that got Selke votes. No, Cates got random Selke votes, didn't he?
I think he finished 37th last year in Selke voting, did Tyson Foerster.
Okay,
so that's probably like one fifth place vote, I'm going to guess.
Which is something.
Calder votes, he finished 7th. And Selke, where are you at? Number 30. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of guys tied for 37. He got one fifth place vote.
I just think there was just
that's someone.
So much, Charlie, in that so much in that rookie season where you were like, ooh, he could be something.
Yes.
And I think if he had taken some kind of big step this season, you might have been like, oh yeah, maybe we got something here. And now you're wondering, all right, is he just a nice piece? Like another one of the Flyers' nice pieces. They have so many complementary pieces. But I'm not ready to say that he's not going to be a difference maker.
we always have to remind ourselves, like, development, not linear. It's not an escalator. Guys take steps back, guys plateau, and then, maybe they rocket up after 2 years of, this is all he is, I guess. And then boom, Travis Konecny. Sometimes you decline, and then, oh my God, this guy's a point-a-game player? Yeah, like, it can happen in all different ways. I hope he has a little bit more of a linear development path, because that would be really nice for this team to know what they're okay, and this is what we're going to allocate for this player, and this is what he's going to be worth, and everyone's happy. Like, that would be really nice. But just seeing him over these last 2 months, really, I feel a lot better than I did at the beginning of December, when it was like, ooh, he has not taken a step. In fact, he's playing worse than he did last year. Like, now I think he is at or maybe somewhat above what he was last season.
I feel like his scoring touch is improved from last season. I mean, like, lately.
Yes.
Which is good. I think he's getting more chances. He seems like more of a threat to score than he did for most of the first half of this season.
And I gotta say, like, I've watched him a lot, and there are a lot of times in the past where I've been like, he's just one step, like, doesn't quite have the speed. I feel like he's won a lot of races. He's kept up with guys, won some 50-50 pucks. Like, he's not fast, but I think he's quick enough to be an effective top six player. Now, like, he's got to develop and get there. He's got to get better, get bigger, get stronger as well.
Yeah.
But I think he's improved his foot speed a little in the last few months as well. Like, it's really starting to come around for him.
I don't have doubts about him the way I have doubts about other guys on this team. I'll put it that way.
Who are
Cam York?
Cam? Yeah, we're gonna have an interesting offseason talking about potential signings and who you're willing to take risks on and who you're not. Because I think you and I are probably pretty aligned, and I think Charlie's a little different from us in terms of who he's willing to sign long term and who he's not. All right. Well, while the Flyers lost tonight, and that's bad from a standings point, it's not bad from a draft lottery standpoint.
Are we going to do it?
Yeah, I want to give, I did it just to see, right, when you were talking.
Oh.
And I got the Flyers up to second.
Hey.
I got the Flyers up to second from sixth. So the Flyers now, 56 games played. They are sixth from the bottom in terms of lottery odds at this moment by points percentage. I just did it myself. I got them up to 2. But guess who got number 1?
Who?
The Penguins.
Are you kidding? Come on.
All right, so Brenna, spin that wheel. All right, it's Chicago winning.
Ew.
And the Flyers fell to 7th. Is that they're at 6th? So they stay the same.
No, I don't like that one.
All right, and
that
is
one.
That's our daily tankathon spin right there. We're gonna do that every show.
Yeah.
Post games and regular studio shows.
We're just loosening the wheel up.
Just checking it out. Why it's fun every day.
It is fun.
Spin the draft lottery wheel. Flyers have a 7.5% chance, I believe, of the first overall pick. That's what it is, right? Yeah, 7.5% chance at number 1 overall. But right now, they're at 6.
Depending on how you do the calculations, it could be 50-50.
I mean, things either happen or they don't. Charlie says it all the time, and he's a mathematician.
Yes, exactly.
Someone I saw tweeted today.
Future NHL general manager Charlie O'Connor.
I saw someone tweet today, this is my favorite time of year because we get to hear Bill say February.
Oh, yeah.
And I honestly don't know how to pronounce it.
You're doing it's perfect.
Because I'm not even going to try.
No.
But sometimes I just make up words. It happens.
Say it like you say it. It's perfect.
Let's do 3 stars, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, Charlie's not here, but we're going to do Charlie O'Connor's 3 stars of the game anyway because I miss him. I want to see his face.
Too.
I love cartoon Charlie.
Me too.
All right,
just like him.
Star number 3. Who do we want to? I want to give. Let's give Rodrigo a Bulls star number 3.
I like it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Great pass. Plays with Michkov. I think earned the spot. I want to see that line stay together.
I would like to see that line stay together.
Couturier, Abels, Michkov. Why the hell not?
Why not?
He's star number 3.
I like it.
I'll give star number 2 to Alex Ovechkin. Goal number 879. He's now 16 away from breaking, 15 away from tying Gretzky. he leveled. So I didn't see who he hit, but he leveled someone in this game. He's still playing physical out there. 51 career goals against the Flyers in the regular season. 14 goalies victimized now. Ivan Fedotov gets added to the ledger. He's freaking awesome. But star number one, I don't care if the Flyers lost. It's Matvei Michkov. He was the best player on the ice tonight.
Yeah, Chychrun would have been my pity vote.
Chychrun, Chychrun played a good game. He scored the winner, right?
Yeah.
He scored the game winner. But these are my stars, and I get to do whatever the hell I want.
That's accurate.
So I am going to give it.
I like them.
To Matvei Michkov, star number one. All right, let's hit those super chats. Only a couple of super chats tonight.
Slow.
So we will get to JH here. A couple from JH says Matvei Michkov 2 goals in regulation loss. Mission accomplished.
Agreed.
Yeah, listen.
That's all I need from every game here.
We're gonna spin the tankathon wheel and hope Michkov can get himself back into this calder race.
Yes.
That's all this season matters for anymore.
That's all I need.
26 games left. It's totally doable.
Keep trying that, Michigan.
It is.
You're gonna hit it.
He's got to get one.
He's gonna hit it.
He's got to get one.
It's gonna happen.
Oh my God! I just keep thinking about what that building would have sounded like if he gets that hat trick on that Michigan.
I don't know what this building would have sounded like.
The first goal, Bren was just laughing. Like me and Kelly are like rooting. We sit there and watch the games, and we're both running a Twitter and doing different stuff. Like we fanboyed over the first Michkov goal. Like, yes, he's back. It was awesome. He's the main character.
Exactly.
All right, and another one here from JH. Rocky Thompson needs to go in the summer or now.
Or 3 days ago, some would say.
Would you put money on him being the power play coach to start next season?
I would bet all of the money that I have, which is not a lot, that he is the power play coach next season.
Right? Like,
there's just no way.
Maybe you can move him somewhere else and bring in like his power. Like maybe they and actually we have Danny Heatley now as our power play specialist. Like he's still assistant coach Rocky Thompson, still coach of the forwards Rocky Thompson, but we have a power play coordinator Danny Heatley.
I feel like Eric Lindros wants to be a part of us again.
In
an official way.
My issue always with guys like Lindros is like, how do you coach? Like, it's why Gretzky isn't a good coach, you know? I don't know, go be better than him. Why don't you just bull rush 3 guys? You lose your stick.
You simply need to be
puck handle with your skates because
larger
you're better
and faster than every single player on the ice.
Be bigger, stronger, faster, and everyone out there and have the best hands. Yeah. Like what's hard about that?
I did it. What's your problem?
You can't fist fight a moose. What's your problem?
The only way.
That's the problem with a guy like Eric Lindros in my mind as coach. You need a Rick, not even like a Craig Berube, perfect example. He did win a Stanley Cup because he knows what it takes to make it when you're not good enough.
You make a fair point.
All right. Vineet Singh gets in under the wire here. Says Cam York to L.A. for Alex Turcotte. Who says no? I'm all for shaking things up. I am for it. I
just don't know about Cam.
I just really don't want to give him a contract, like an 8-year.
That's the problem, is that they're going to give him
I don't want to give him the Sanheim contract.
They're going to give him the Sanheim contract, and I don't want to give him that. Like, if they gave him, 3 years, I'd be like, all right.
And honestly,
they're not gonna.
With the cap number doing what it's doing, locking yourself in for your prime right now is foolish.
Yeah, don't do that, silly.
Don't do it. It's your cap percentage, all contracts long term signed in the previous 2 years and in the next year are going to be bargains.
Yeah.
Just because you have no idea what's going to. Listen, I'll believe the 113.5 when it happens.
Yeah, I know.
Especially what's going on with the Canadian dollar right now. But there is a Canadian TV rights deal coming up. There's going to be further expansion. There's going to be a lot more stuff. But if I'm Cam York, I don't do it. If I bet on yourself, man. I'd rather pay more for a great player than risk another bad contract because, my God, you have this Coots thing happening right now. I don't want a ton of these.
They're so dumb, and they don't like to move. Everyone makes fun of me.
They don't like
to move.
Their stuff's there. All right, before we wrap up tonight's show, just want to say we appreciate those of you watching on TV. Head over to allphly.com for more of the show. What's more of the show? Well, it's me telling you, go become a diehard.
Yeah.
You have an hour and change to take advantage of this sale, $36 for the year. And while you're on the website, check out that events tab and, I don't know, maybe book the Montreal trip. Going to be a great time. Me and Kelly are going to be there. Charlie's going to be there if we ever find him. He's lost somewhere right now, but we're going to locate him, and he'll be in Montreal with us.
Allegedly.
April 4th to the 7th. Flyers, Habs, all sorts of activities and fun planned. Check it out, allphly.com right now, thanks to Philly Sports Trips. All right. That's it for us. That is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers Postgame, presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. with a non-game day show. Seems so odd to say, but we'll be back tomorrow, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page so you never miss a live show. Follow us on Twitter as well, at PHLY_Flyers. And follow the podcast wherever you get those. Just search PHLY Flyers. That's it. I'm Bill Matz. That's Kelly Hinkle. Until tomorrow, go Birds.
We all silly like the mayor.